guys, welcome to this video. I'm your teacher Paula Sarmiento, and along with teachers Charlith Ribón, Daniela Oñate, and Jhyreth Silva, we are going to explain three different approaches to second language teaching. They are the grammar translation method, the direct method, and the audiolingual method. We are going to see the definition, their characteristics, benefits, challenges, and as well how we can apply them to standardized tests. So, without further ado, let's start. The grammar translation method. It is not new as someone may think. It has been used by so many professors along the history. It was first known as the classical method because it was used to teach the classical languages such as Latin and Greek. Nowadays, we know the grammar translation method as the one who is traditional because it only emphasizes on reading and writing rather than listening and speaking. It also focuses on the direct method, vocabulary memorization, and translating from the native language to the target language. But now, let's take a look at this example to see its characteristics.
Buenos días chicos, hoy vamos a estar viendo el presente continuo. Para esto vamos a tener esta oración, la vamos a traducir y vamos a identificar el verbo to be. Entonces iniciemos. What is it? Eating, el presente continuo. Eating an apple.
Some of the characteristics of this method are: first, the native language is used as the medium of instruction. Second, there is a focus on grammar rules and syntax. Third, drills and memorization are the common teaching techniques. And fourth, as you have seen in the video, there are lots of exercises who are translation exercises. Okay, so as we could see on the video, this approach has a lot of benefits. The main one is that the student can develop a strong understanding of the grammatical structure and can also practice their reading and writing skills. But now it also faces a lot of challenges as well. The main one is that the student may freeze because they have to think in the native language and then translate it to the target language. So they have two languages in their brain that are functioning together, and they may forget the words in both languages.
The direct method surged in the late 19th century as a reaction from the grammar translated method. The difference is that the direct method focuses more in the immersive and interactive part of language learning. But what are its characteristics? First of all, the direct method focuses in using the target language rather than the native language. Second, this is a focus also on the interactional communicative skills rather than on memorization or grammar. Speaking of grammar, the third characteristic is that the grammar is taught inductively. That means that students learn it through practical use rather than on explicit explanations. The fourth characteristic is that the lessons are contextual. That means that they are designed on real life situations so that the language learning has a practical use in everyday life. And the fifth characteristic is the focus on speaking and listening. Here, the students imitate native speakers to ensure an accurate pronunciation and comprehension. Now let's see a video example. Good morning, my dear students. How do you feel today?
I'm feeling good, teacher. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. Well, today we're going to talk about festivities. Remember that next month we have a very important festivity. And what do you know about the festival, about the Festival de Nado?
Well, teacher, I know that there are a lot of dances in the festival, and also a lot of music, vallenato, which I really like.
Well, that's good, that's right. But we also have another festivity. What about Holy Week? Do you know something about Holy Week?
Holy Week. I know, but I don't know how to say the festivities that are in Holy Week. For example, miércoles de ceniza. I don't know how to say that.
Well, in summary, the direct method is an ideal approach for those students that look to improve their communicative skills in a short amount of time. However, as we can see in the video, there are some difficulties with this method. First of all, the students can feel a bit limited in this communicative skill if they don't have enough vocabulary to support them, as we saw with the students from the example. Another difficulty is that the teacher needs to be very skilled in their teaching because they cannot use translations or anything of that fashion. And the third difficulty is this limitation on teaching grammar, as this method focuses more in communicative skills and in making explicit explanations.
Now, what is the autolingual method? This method was created and influenced by structural linguistics, and this is based on behavioral psychology, which portrays the development of oral proficiency through repetitions, performance, and drills, emphasizing on the correct pronunciation, the grammar part structure between sentences, focuses not only in the meaning but how is the correction process of pronunciation for students. So here we can see that skills such as listening and speaking are privileged. Now let's see an example to see some characteristics of this method. Okay. Hi student, how are you?
I here.
Okay. Today we're gonna practice some words of our first vocabulary. Okay. So let's start with this sentence. This is a big red apple.
This is a big red apple.
Oh my dear. Let's do a correct pronunciation. Daniela, let's gonna help her. So Charlie, the correct pronunciation is apple. Repeat after me.
Apple.
Okay, good job. Let's try another sentence. This is a big yellow banana.
This is a big yellow banana.
Wow, good job, my student. This is great. The characteristics of this method are: first, the use of repetitive drills and memorization. Second, the correct pronunciation and grammar structure. The teacher not necessarily have to explain in an explicit way to students a word or sentence because through practice and repetition, students learn that. Third, there's no use of native or mother tongue. What that means that students only have to use exclusively in classroom the target language that they are learning. Fourth, errors are corrected immediately to avoid bad habit formations. And fifth, the teacher is the center in its approach, which means that the teachers have to be a correct model in the usages of the correct language. So students have the mission to imitate all that actions in practice that teacher have to do in classroom. Now, let's take a look to the benefits that hold this audiovisual method. So we can start mentioning that this method improves the pronunciation and speaking fluency. The second that we can say is that this method strong build listening skills. Remember that the two skills that are privileged in this approach are speaking and listening. The third is that encourage students sounds more natural at the moment that they are portrayed, they're speaking. In other words, the automaticity during their performance. And the third one is that this method is effective for students to learn set phrases and common expressions. We already knew the benefits of this approach, but what about the challenges? Well, the first is the lack of creativity in the use of the language and how we can interrupt the production of a meaningful communication between students. The second one is that this method can be limited for other skills such as writing and reading. The third one is that for all students, this may not be engaging enough because of the continuous repetitions that are involved for the producing of this method. And the fourth one, immediate correction by teacher discourages the natural learning from mistakes by students.
Now that we already know all these type of these approaches, we decided that the grammar translation method is the best option to create or to design a standardized test. But why? First, we have to know that a standardized test is a way to evaluate our students in an objective form. So that's why this is the best option. A standardized test also focuses reading comprehension, grammar, and vocabulary. So all these skills fits better or align perfectly with the grammar translation method, which focuses on reading and writing. Grammar translation method focuses on clear and structured grammar rules, and a standardized test also focuses on this part, like using questions such as fill in the blank, like sentence transformations, and grammatical corrections, and so on. So, thanks to this approach with grammar translation method, students develop a strong understanding of this type of rule, like choosing the correct option. We have to know also that this type of evaluation, the standardized test, just allows a right or wrong option. It's no more if it is right or it is wrong, because this is related with the objective assessment. So this is another advantage of this grammar translation method, because it allows like the objective assessment that we require to do a standardized test. So summarizing all of this, the best option to create a standardized test is the grammar translation method, because this focuses on grammar, on reading and writing, and also it allows us to do a objective